Highway 220, if you're familiar with this area here. Let's zoom in on some of these roads to get more specific about your town and your area. So clear selection. Lock Haven, this is entering your area in, let's say, a minute, 60 seconds. This is going to be heavy rainfall. I know we've been dealing with heavy rainfall a lot, but even heavier rainfall than that probably. Highway 150, Highway 220, Gilmore Road, Jacksonville Road, if you're hearing your road name, McKeeville Road, Fairground Road, north towards Lusk Run Road, Laurel Run Road. You're seeing that downpour right now. The rain is getting really intense. But if you are in Lock Haven, I'm going to zoom into some of these roads as well. Walnut Road, East Park Road, 4th Street, Glen Road, pretty much all of Lock Haven. Now's the time to bunker down, head inside into the most interior part of your home as the cell continues to push in. I hear Kurt's ready for an update. Kurt, what are you seeing with this cell? What's the latest going on?
Well, as we talked about just a little while ago, Anthony, again, this storm formed in that southwest corner of that line of showers. And one thing I just want to mention, if we could go to Max 2 for a minute. So those are the two areas right there that we're watching very closely for the potential for that tornadic activity. But I also want to show you a couple things. In the wake of where those tornadoes are moving through, in that wake, if you look out just west of State College, you'll see that gold line that's there. And that's the reason that we have the flood watch in all the green counties you see right there. I'm going to click on that one and look what pops up. That's a flash flood warning. So we've talked before the difference between a warning and a watch. The green counties that we have right now, they're all under a flood watch, meaning conditions are favorable for flooding. When you have the gold areas like I just showed you, and again, we're talking about these two areas because there's two different things going on here when you look at the severe weather map. So these two areas that I'm circling right here, that's flash flood warnings. That means there's flooding happening right now. And it's associated with the same cells that are producing the tornado warning. And then you come up here and you look at the red and the gold here. That's the tornado warning that we just talked about. And that's also a severe thunderstorm warning that's associated with those storms. And then you look at the second one that popped up here, and again, you're dealing with the same thing. You have a tornado warning, but you also have a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's go ahead and look up close at a couple of these that we have out there. There's State College right now. That's the one that's moving in, and the one that started all of this, triggered it, is this one here. So we'll go in this direction again. It is moving to the northeast. And there's your timeline, Lock Haven, 906, 927, and Jersey Shore. And then it looks like that cell is going to continue to go towards Billtown, Williamsport. So be prepared if you live Lock Haven, Jersey Shore, any of those areas. That's where we're seeing some of these storms that are moving through. I'm just zooming in here real quick just to give you an idea. There's Pine Creek associated with that. And again, this is moving to the northeast. Now let's slide down to the second tornado, and that's the one that's right down here. Let me just back out a little bit. So this system also spawning a tornado warning, and it's just west of Beaver Springs in our viewing area. So it is also moving northeast. As you can see there, there's Potter County associated with that, but there's still more storms with this. If you look downstream a little bit, see this one firing up again? This one's also firing up, even though we don't have a lot there in that cone for Potter. This area right here, this is also going to be moving to the northeast. Let me just open this one up here real fast and look at what we got going on here. And now, if that one were to stay together and even spawn a tornado warning, Lewistown, Fayette, also, Beaver Springs, right at the edge of our viewing area, would be under the target for that as well. It's all part of this bigger line that we talked about. There it is. I'm going to go to the now frame, and there you go. So we zoom in. A lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. Not all of it is cloud-to-ground lightning, but some of this certainly is, and the potential for hail. We've talked many times about the algorithm in our radar. It picks up these things and then it puts it on the screen. Even though there may not actually be hail making it to the ground, that chance is there, certainly with the cloud-to-ground lightning. And I've been looking on here quite a bit. And I've been looking for that signature, that meso-rotation. You know, the yellow arrow that we show, and it just shows it spinning in a circle. I'm not seeing that on here, but doesn't mean that there's not damaging winds associated with this, and also the potential for flooding. I would not be surprised at all, like this one near Lock Haven, if this one does not trigger flash flood warnings here within the next half an hour or so in and around that area, because this is not moving that quickly, and it is producing a lot of rain at the same time, as well as the one down here near Potter. That one's also moving northeast. And then right behind that, you've got a bigger cell. Look at this one's building just from the last time I showed it. That storm system right there. And that one is also moving to the northeast. So we're going to watch these. Even if they don't spawn the tornadoes, they could certainly create the flash flooding and the issue for some flooding. Yeah, so that severe thunderstorm warning now has been extended. We're talking about, let me just highlight it right here. That's been extended now. That's following the same cell, by the way. It's now been extended. You can see it moving up towards the Williamsport area, and that is moving to the northeast. We have those areas right there where we have the tornado warnings, and we have the severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So Anthony, also before I send it back to you, I'm going to have you under the tornado graphics that you have there at the severe weather set. There's also some graphics there that explain the difference between a tornado watch, a tornado warning. You could just grab a couple of those and put them into your Max 1 rundown while I'm on Max 2 here, and we continue to bring you the latest to you, our viewer, because we have those things out there. We have the tornado warnings, 2 of them now, one in our viewing area, the other one just on the edge. But we have multiple other watches and warnings. We have severe thunderstorm warnings. We have also flood warnings happening. We have flood watches going on. So all because of this line that you see right there that is gradually working its way to the east. So that's good news. Is the severe thunderstorm warning that was until 9 o'clock just west of Lamar, that one has been allowed to expire. But that new one that they just put up there over Jersey Shore heading towards the Williamsport area, that's the new one that they just put on. Let me just see what the latest on that one is before I go to Anthony here one more time. So this is the newer one. Yeah, so this one now is until 9:45. That's the new one that they just put out. We still have the tornado warning for just south of our viewing area. Hang on one second. I'm just going to move this graphic right here. Yeah, so the one that we had until 9 o'clock has expired, that tornado warning, and we have this one which is moving into our viewing area right now. That one's until 9:15. Okay, I want to send it back now if we can to Anthony. Anthony's in the severe weather set. Anthony, we're watching these closely. Good news is we've got one of the tornado warnings was allowed to expire. It was not extended. However, as I mentioned, they extended the severe thunderstorm warning, which again, straight line winds, hail can all be a big issue for people in and around Jersey Shore and those areas. But we still have that other tornado warning, which is why we're on the air now until 9:15. What are you seeing there in the severe weather set?
Yeah, that storm is impressive. And Kurt, you wanted me to explain the difference between a watch and a warning. It's something we say a lot, but the terminology may be confusing a little bit. A watch just means the conditions are favorable. You may need to take precautions soon from a warning, which means it's happening right now. They put a polygon little box, and that means it is actively going on. That applies to severe thunderstorm watch warning, a tornado watch warning. Right now, there's actually not a tornado watch. There's a severe thunderstorm watch. It just so happens, and it happens a few times where there's a couple tight rotation areas and then a couple tornado warnings pop out from that. But like I mentioned earlier, the sun's setting, so that's a good thing because these storms have a little less instability to work with. And that looks like it's the case here. There's still some low-level winds patterns that are favorable for maybe a spin-up or two, especially more in central Pennsylvania. But as this line heads closer towards the Susquehanna River Valley, it looks like the line will overall fall apart, but still provide heavy rainfall and that chance for flooding. This graphic does not have the watches and warnings that are set and available, so let's put them on there and let's zoom in and show you currently what the latest is with this cell. Yeah, there's possibility of a few small hail pieces in there, but that main area of rotation right now is along Highway 305 headed towards Brown, and maybe heading out of Center County here within the next few minutes. I believe that's into close to Union County as well. So let's put a little tracker on this. This system will continue to head further north and east. It is moving rather slowly, so let's, only one name on there. But hopefully there could be more names. I think I can edit that. Just give me 1 second if I can. Yeah, so that system is heading again further off towards the north and east, about to enter more of our viewing area. Again, I'm not noticing too much, just to be frank, too much a tight rotation along with this, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gathers itself together here within the next few minutes. But it's one of those things I think that will rotate a little bit, not rotate a little bit. But what I'm seeing just now, just looking at the velocity here behind the scenes and looking at the rotation of it, just to be honest, it's not all too impressive as far as the signature to it. It's not all too far from the radar. What I'm just seeing with this is just heavy rainfall. Just to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they expire this before it's completely done, but it is a warning, so we're going to still treat it like this is an active situation here. I'm just trying to give you the truth of what I'm currently seeing along with this line as well. The definitely damaging winds are going to be possible along with this. It is heading to the north and east just at about, I would say, 15 to 25 miles per hour here, maybe just slightly faster than that. So that's a little bit slower than what you would drive on the road. So if you're towards Brown, the Armagh area, expect this to impact you. The line is broken up just a little bit. Now everybody will see the 100% downpour here, just the strongest cell right here with the strongest wind gusts, the heaviest rain, now pushing through Center County and eventually over into, I believe that's Union County, and then parts of Clinton County as well. Thankfully, it doesn't look like there's all too much to talk about other than just heavy rainfall, which obviously has been a concern for us here over the past month because it's gotten a fair dose of rain. Here's that latest scan. Yeah, that rotation really is starting to loosen up, and the signature for the potential tornado here is really starting to become a little bit less obvious here, but we'll still stay on air until this tornado warning expires to you. We'll be live on air at 10 o'clock once again to show you as this line progresses closer to closer to Wilkes-Barre. And yeah, so this line continues to push in. Kurt is here now with another update. Kurt?
Yeah, I just want to go over a couple things, T-Dog. If we could go to Max 2 again, I would appreciate it. You know, when we're talking about the potential for tornadoes, as Anthony was just talking about, that potential is there. I apologize. My wife's just getting home, so Rocco and Ranger are barking here. But damage to roofs, windows, vehicles will occur, and also tree damage. And those trees can be brought down as we get into, the potential for some of those tree branches down and things like that. So move to a pre-designated shelter, such as a basement. You want to have a plan. Move to an interior room. We talked about that. Hallway or the lowest floor that you can. And cover yourself with anything sturdy if you're in the path of those things. So where's the path that we're talking about? And I'm looking at the screen right now. So the one that we're looking at is just beginning to move into our viewing area. I'm going to zoom in. And as you can see right there, see where Potter is? That system is slowly working its way towards us. So we pan that out and we look at some of the variables that we have here. And again, there we go. That's the flood watch. You can see where Beaver Springs is. All of this is moving in that direction to the northeast. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. And we are literally on the air until 9:15 because of that. The area that I'm referring to right now is right here, but also not just this area. See that right there? That's obviously the one that spawned the tornado warning. We are looking at, again, this moving to the northeast, but we're also looking at the one right behind it. The one right behind it. that is the one that is producing the potential for flooding. And I want to highlight this one right here because we're right there. There we go. That is moving in our direction. You see where Beaver Springs is? That's going to produce more rain for us, some downpours. The one that's causing the tornado warning right now is right here. I want to go to that one and highlight that one. And there you go, Loganton at 9:48. So that's why I said this one's just beginning to move into places like Snyder County and those areas. So it's right at the cusp of our viewing area, and that's what we're keeping a close eye on. That's why we're staying with you until the 9:15. Just like with the first one, the tornado warning did not get extended, but the severe thunderstorm warning associated with it did. And we are looking at the same possible scenario with this one that's down here. So we're keeping a close eye on this. We're not out of the woods. I want to show you real quick future radar as we're looking at a potential for more of these storms. See this? I'm just moving it back and forth. You can see the timestamp as these showers move through. So right up until 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, we could have more rumbles of thunder. We could have some more downpours. So we're going to watch this very, very closely as it moves through. And a bigger picture, it's not just here, but places in western Pennsylvania have been impacted. And that line, let me go to the now image, because that's the latest image that we have. And we zoom in and you can see all of the lightning associated with that and hail. But again, and I'll throw it back to Anthony here for a few minutes. Anthony, I'm not seeing our signature meso rotation that we've seen before when we deal with tornado warnings. And you can see that spinning arrow, as we call it, over top of the storms that are causing the problem. So we're keeping a close. The line doesn't look that impressive, but it is doing some damage, not only with winds, with lightning, but also with flooding. This thing has spawned numerous flood warnings, and it's moving deeper, I should say, into our viewing area. Anthony, we'll send it back to you in the severe weather set.
Yeah, that's an important note, Kurt. Sometimes you like, okay, there's a tornado happening, and that's the only thing you care about? Yeah, storms produce more things than tornadoes, and most of the time, rain, heavy rain, damaging winds, and this is something to not really play around with just because it doesn't have the tornado word along with it, or there's maybe not an active tornado happening right now, or with this line of storms as well. It still can produce a whole bunch of damage. And we're pretty much noticing the same thing, losing that daytime heating as that line progresses further off towards the east. So it's looking like right now, at least, there is no active tornado on the ground, but still a tornado warning expires here within the next few minutes, and we'll continue to track along with it. The line is actually about to enter Mifflin County rather, and eventually downstream, places like Union County and then Snyder County will be impacted by this line as well. So here's that warning. Again, I don't believe I have, like Kurt was saying, the shear tracker on it. I believe I'm turning it on now. So not seeing much along with it. But the line will continue to press further east. Downpours, we're seeing magenta colors in here. I'll point at that here. Whenever we see magenta colors happening, this is very, very heavy rainfall. Maybe a little bit itty-bitty pieces of small hail like you see from that indicator right there. Just some heavy rainfall going on right now. Let me loop it over the last 2 hours to show you kind of how it's evolved. Yeah, the storms have only really intensified, it looks like, as far as, or at least stayed intense here as far as rainfall going on. Now, the storm track is continuing heading where it has been over the last few hours or so. Now it looks like they're actually extending a severe thunderstorm warning along with this line as well, which is usually what happens when they are ready to set and expire a tornado warning here. So there it is. There's that severe thunderstorm warning. You can see it's a similar shape, and I'll pause it just so it's not going crazy. Not going crazy, but yeah, so a few cells here that'll continue to push towards the north and east. Heavy rainfall, definitely damaging winds going to be along with the line as well. Kurt, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the storm damage that's been reported. We could go back to Max 2 for a minute, guys. I appreciate it. Max 2, you can see, and I just highlighted a couple. of the areas that are just west of our viewing area where these storms have already gone through, you can see tree down over a road with lines down, blocking roadways, thunderstorm wind damage. You can see numerous trees down along this section, Cemetery Hill Road. Again, this is what we were talking about when we're talking about these lines of showers and thunderstorms. So that's why I said even on the radar image, it doesn't look that impressive. But when you zoom in and you see just how much damage these things are doing just west of our viewing area, and they are heading east. So you folks in Snyder, Union County, get ready because these storms are heading in your direction. You can see Lewistown. We have a camera there that we follow quite a bit on there. I'll see if we can get a view, but I'm just going to show you again the area that spawned the tornado right back in here, and that is heading towards Milton, Mifflinburg, Sunbury. We have that tornado warning until 9:15, so we're going to keep a close eye on it. And as Anthony mentioned, just like what we saw with the other tornado warning was allowed to expire, but instead they extended the severe thunderstorm warning for the first tornado warning that we had issued. Now the second one, they've extended that severe thunderstorm warning out again, and we still have that tornado warning until 9:15. So as you can see, the towns, Mifflinburg, Lewisburg, Milton, all in line with where these storms are going. So, all right, good news. The tornado warning has been allowed to expire. So that one has been taking off the watches and warnings board. So because of that, we're going to go back to regularly scheduled programming. But I want to thank everybody in the control room, engineering, Anthony, and everyone that was involved in getting us up on the air to let you guys know what's happening out there. And Anthony will have much more coming up on Newswatch 16 at 10 on WNEP2, and also Newswatch 16 at 11. So as for now, we're not out of the woods. Last thing I want to show you is on Max 2, if we could, that line is moving through our viewing area, and that line is producing the damaging winds, some of the storm reports you just saw. So we're not done with this yet. There's a lot of lightning, some hail, and we'll continue to update you as we get more info here. So for Anthony and myself, we're going to sign off now, and if anything else pops up as far as tornado warnings, we'll be here to bring you the info. Thanks, and have a good night. Be safe.
This has been a Stormtracker 16 special report.